Alright folks, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Donfather, and this is hashtag AFL Tabletop. Ooh, you never saw that one coming, did you? Yes, I'm in the kitchen here at the table, so I've just came up with a quick hashtag there. Hashtag AFL Tabletop. It's not a video of the reviews of the weekend's game, although I will be mentioning an individual performance and also mentioning the fact that I've still to watch the highlights. I'm going to do a reaction to Port Adelaide versus Geelong. I know the winners of these games are of Brisbane Lions won their game as well, quite convincingly as well. So I'm going to actually just watch their highlights. I'm going to do a reaction to Port Adelaide and Geelong. Port Adelaide did win. Sorry for the spoiler alert, if you didn't know. The reason why I haven't done a review is because I haven't seen those ones yet. I've been doing other stuff. I've been getting through lots of other requests over the weeks that I'm falling behind on. There's a lot of requests and a lot of support for the channel. So there's a few thank you messages that I want to give out just now, which will take a couple of minutes. Because they really do need to be said. It is greatly appreciated, all the support we get through views, subscribers, comments as well, nice comments that we get, feedback as well on how we can improve the channel or things that we should look at, requests for videos, etc. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody for that. I would also like to ask if you do have videos that we do that you do enjoy watching, do share with your friends and family, as it does help the channel grow and it keeps me motivated to do a lot more. I don't need much motivation, mind you, as I love the sport and that's motivation enough, but you want to have a bigger audience when you do this sort of thing like I'm doing. It makes all the effort worthwhile. So a few thank yous anyway. We've got Hayden, who I follow on Instagram. We're friends on Instagram. He's made a video for me of the experience of what it's like at a footy game, going to a footy game. He's travelled from Geelong. He's a Geelong supporter. He's only a young lad. But he's travelled from Geelong through to Port Adelaide, into Adelaide, where he's seen his team being beat. But thanks very much to him anyway. He's made a video. It's about a 19-20 minute video. I've posted it in my community section on my channel. So if you do get a chance, do watch it. Support him as well. A big footy fan there. If you're a Geelong supporter, have a look and see. And if you're a Port Adelaide supporter, there's lovely footage there inside the ground, your home game, and your club theme song and everything's being played. Everybody's up with the scarves singing at the start of the game. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So he's done a good bit of effort there. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it because it's not the camera angles from the TV crew you're watching it from. You're actually watching it from the stands and a supporter's eye view, if you like, of what's going on. And they build up the pre-match entertainment, etc. So really thanks a lot for that, Hayden. I really did appreciate you doing that for me. And as I said, if you want to watch the video, I've actually posted it in my community section, and I think the video is called "To the Donfather," what it's like at a footy game, something like that. So apologies if that title's wrong. I actually should have wrote that down exactly what the video was called, but you can get it in my community section anyway if you want to see it. People sending gifts to the channel. I've got Malenda Cripps. She's sending gifts. I'm not too sure what they are, but she has asked sizes of me and my wife and my children, etc., their age groups. So I presume it's clothing, but I really don't want to speculate. She's a massive Geelong supporter. I really do want to thank her now on this video as well for being so generous and kind as to wanting to send stuff into the channel. I would like to actually have a kind of AFL wall at the back of me, Aussie rules themed wall section of the house that I do my videos in. That'll be, or maybe even something outside where I could get a kind of studio built in the back. That'll be somewhere in the future anyway, not in the near future, but the longer term, have a little kind of studio out the back next to the shed there, built in with all the AFL stuff, and indeed other stuff, because it is a world channel from around the world, and featuring in the background pride of place, if you like. So thanks very much to her, and Boomer Oz, who's sending me a footy and other Australian items of a surprising nature. I do not know what they are, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing what they are. They're Australian themed as well, I believe. So want to say thank you to him. I already have thanked the two of them personally before, but I want to do it publicly because they do deserve that. Spending their own money on providing stuff for the channel is greatly appreciated and will never ever be taken for granted. Another YouTuber who goes by Rob Blues, he's a He's from Brisbane. He's went out of his way to go on SEM 116 overnight show Sunday evening here, Sunday night in Australia, Monday morning if you like. And he's kind of give the channel a bit of a good shout out, and I'm not too sure, I never heard his first one where he's bigged the channel up, but for that I really do want to say thank you as well, because any piece of promotion of the channel is greatly appreciated, and it'll go a long way to helping the show grow, and also encouraging me to continue what I'm doing. So that is a massive thank you. I also featured on the radio. I phoned up the radio after that, because I went on and I was listening to the show for ages. It must have been about 3 or 4 hours. I was listening to SEM 116, which is the Melbourne one, overnight show. John, I forgot his surname, who hosts the show, really nice guy. But you could text or phone the show, and my text messages weren't going through, so I goes, do you know what, I'm going to ring them. And it did ring, and they asked for my name straight away, and within 1 minute of ringing, I was live on the radio talking. He also had questions out there, which sporting stadiums should he visit. He said that he's obviously visited the MCG in Melbourne Cricket Ground, absolutely enormous, huge ground, very famous across the world. Madison Square Gardens, I believe he said he'd went to as well. So he's been to some really brilliant places, and I had mentioned they should go to Ibrox Stadium, which is a football stadium close to my heart, the home of Rangers Football Club in Glasgow, Scotland. The atmosphere is like no other. Let me tell you, if you don't know anything about it, check out Champions League nights at Ibrox Stadium, or Old Firm atmospheres at Ibrox Stadium. That's Rangers versus Celtic. That's the Old Firm, one of the biggest footballing or soccer derbies on planet Earth, for many different reasons which I won't get into, but the atmosphere anyway at Ibrox is up there with some of the best stadiums in the world. And he actually was talking about capacity, huge arenas as well. Hampden Park, I think, hosted one of the world's most ever biggest crowd, I think it was about 144,000, and the biggest club game in British football history was between Rangers and Celtic at Ibrox Stadium way back in the 70s or something, and I think it had 118,000 at a game. So there you go anyway, just a little piece of trivia for you. So that was a little bit, had a bit of banter about the channel and what I'm doing. Featured Tony Plugger Lockett, of course, an enforcer, but and also the greatest goal kicker of all time in the history of the sport. And the story featuring Glenn Archer and Wayne Carey. Of course, you all know Wayne Carey's past, so I featured that on the channel as well. So you can check that out as well if you like. I've done the video there yesterday. So I mentioned that to him, just little things like that. I love the history of the sport, I love the modern day stuff, I love reviewing it. I'm just absolutely passionate about this sport right now, and I hope you're seeing that and you're enjoying it with me. Peter George, one of my, well, probably the most valued patron. All patrons are valued because they're funding the channel and helping the channel grow financially, which is necessary, because all funds go into funding the trips, which would be the flights, the hotels, travel costs around the country, going to the games and doing the vlogs, the equipment, etc. So all the proceeds from that do not go into my pocket as such, as like, oh, spend it on this, that and the other, nice new clothes. No, it goes back into the investment of the channel. So all proceeds really do help, and Peter George deserves a massive shout out because he's financially supporting the channel monthly. So thank you very much for that. You know who you are anyway. I have mentioned you before, but thank you, and we never take it for granted. Really do appreciate it. Mullet Mania, sponsor me, guys. Sponsor the mullet. This is another way of getting proceeds into the channel and funding the channel in order to get the channel on the road and getting it to Australia, getting to the grounds, doing vlogs, meeting people, maybe talking at SEN 116. You never know. Live, I could always get in touch with them and we can talk about the channel, etc., because it is something I'm really enjoying doing. Having a foreign perception of the game is quite interesting for me, not growing up with it, and I presume the people of Australia seeing what other people think of the sport. So it's all good in the end of the day. But Mullet Mania, I have got links in the description below for all these things that you can help financially support the channel. The Dawn of World Sports is my other sports channel for other people who don't know, for new people coming to the channel who don't know much about the channel, haven't watched it for very long. I did create the Dawn of World Sports, and this is for more unhinged reactions, because I can tend to get quite excited, if you didn't know, about big things that happen, such as fights in the Aussie rules. It just gets me excited. I'm liable to flip out the odd curse word. I'm not very apologetic for that on the Donna World Sports, but I do apologise for the Don's channel for doing it, because it is more aimed at a family sort of environment. So apologies for any swear words you have heard on this channel, and I'll try to be on my best behaviour in the future. So the Donna World Sports, I've actually recently just done today, if you do check it out, the International Rules Fights compilation, Ultimate International Rules Fight compilation on the Donna World Sports channel, so you don't want to miss that. It's Australia versus Ireland, which is obviously Aussie rules versus GAA, Gaelic football, mash-up game that's been designed for the two countries, and it's really has to be seen, the video. I thoroughly enjoy it. Check out the real video if you don't want to watch my reaction. That's all good, but you have to see the video. If you've not seen it, then you have to. It's really good entertainment, and it's not for footballing reasons. Check it out. My star player of the weekend, of the players that I have seen, of course, I haven't seen the Brisbane Lions. I know that their man got star player of the weekend, so I can't really comment on the games I haven't seen. But from the games that I watched, Brad Hill was absolutely sensational from the Dockers. Really good. Michael Walters has faced a one-match suspension for putting the head on another player in that game. There was a lot of that going on in the match, actually. I think he got a bit of an elbow in the chops earlier on in the game too, so it was a bit of handbags. It was a bit of 50-50. He wasn't really an aggressor. He was retaliating, if anything, I thought, in that game, but he is facing a one-match ban. Had to mention him because he's been one of the best kickers of late. And he'll be a sore loss for the Dockers, actually, because he's one of the main men right now. But Brad Hill, oh my word, he needed a mention. Really good. If you haven't seen the highlights of the Dockers, try and get the extended stuff, which isn't involving just kicks and marks only, because then you're getting to see the work rate of this man. He's up and down, he's left and right, he's everywhere. He's just behind all good things that happened in the day for the Dockers. Absolutely outstanding. Even though they were on the losing side, he was absolutely sensational. Also, you might be aware that I'm running the Donlow medal, which is like the Brownlow, but it's the Donlow, and we want a player from each team. All that aside, I'm not going to go too much into the Donlow. I still need names for, obviously you get the best and fairest of every club. I want an overall one, best and fairest, for like the whole of the AFL, every single team put together, but this isn't the best and fairest. This award is known as the roughest can barely speak. Roughest, toughest mongrel medal. This is an award I'm giving out, and I also might do a Rising Stars. I'm still not too sure about that one yet, but it's all good if we do it anyway. We can easily narrow that one down quickly. But roughest and toughest mongrel medal. I need names, guys. Who's the hardest guy? Who does the dirty work? Does the dirty yards? Cleans up at the back and allows the flair players, the more skillful players, to get on their bike and get up the field of play and create some magic moments. Who's that mongrel that takes the hits, takes the hard knocks, gives the hard knocks, gives the hard hits, the biffs, the booms, just, you know what I mean? Just the roughest, toughest mongrel medal. It says it itself. Give me some names for it, guys. Anyway, that's the end of the table talk of the AFL. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I needed to get a few things, a few thank yous. There's no car chat today. Apologies for that. I haven't done the car chat because I usually do my weekend roundup of the games. I'm yet to see the highlights because of why I've just explained. But I might do it tomorrow if I get the chance. I'll be watching a lot more AFL, listening to SEN radio as well, which just gets me into the buzz of it all. I check out the Nuffies on Facebook and Instagram, the funny stories as well, really good content, and of course read AFL 7, the AFL stuff as well, and all the other media outlets that you have there covering the sports. I'm really doing my homework here. Really trying my best to keep up to date with a lot of the content that's happening right now in the AFL community, and giving you the best possible entertainment as I possibly can. So bear with me, guys, I'm trying my best. Thanks very much anyway for watching. Don't forget to check out all those things I mentioned. Any financial support would be absolutely greatly appreciated and really would help the channel. Thanks again. I am the Donfather. Peace everyone, and goodbye.